with our editor-in-chief, Rahul Shivshankar.
Thanks indeed, Pranesh. Thanks indeed, viewers. Let's focus on an extremely important and sensitive story this evening. Yes, viewers, today we're going to discuss a sensitive issue that has made it to the front page of all major newspapers and is inviting a lot of debate. With the Supreme Court agreeing to hear a Kerala man's petition seeking contempt action against the state government of Maharashtra for failing to rein in hate speeches by Hindu organizations despite Supreme Court orders, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta, representing the centre, asked why is the petitioner seeking to target one community. The plea by Shaheen Abdullah has led to exchanges between the petitioner and, of course, viewers, the Solicitor General, and viewers, the bench. And these exchanges have been widely reported. The Solicitor General has expressed his dismay, saying that the court shouldn't hear the plea filed by the petitioner because Shaheen Abdullah, the petitioner, appears blind to hate speech by other non-Hindu groups. Now here's what the Solicitor General said on Tuesday to the bench as he was addressing, of course, his lawyer on the other side who was representing the petitioner. And let me quickly quote to you, viewers, and let's go to the first quote. There you can see it, viewers, on your screens, and let's focus on that. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta said, why petitioner Shaheen Abdullah from Kerala is blind to hate speeches close to his home? Why is he seeking to target one community in one particular state? If he is genuinely public-spirited, he must bring on record all instances of hate speeches across the country, irrespective of religion and state, unquote. He also said hate speech should be stopped irrespective of religion of the maker. The point is that one cannot seek relief of such a nature based on news reports. Anyone can get news reports published, unquote. Now, viewers, Advocate Nizam Pasha, appearing for Mr. Abdullah, responded in the context of the hearing yesterday, saying, the nature of the speeches in all such rallies continues to be such that it demonizes the Muslim community and calls for their killing and boycott. The complete inaction or inadequate action of state authorities results in encouraging radical elements to continue disregarding the law. The growing rate of these speeches is bringing a certain degree of normalization to the same, which is bound to have extremely dangerous consequences, unquote. Now, viewers, the hearing continued in court today, even though the Solicitor General prayed before the court, before the bench, that it should not entertain the one-sided petition. Here is an excerpt reported widely in the media and confirmed by our legal correspondent, Harish, from today's exchange between the Solicitor General and the SC bench. Now, viewers, Justice Nagaratna said, develop a mechanism so it doesn't come to the Supreme Court, so that contempt petitions, I presume, like this or cases like this don't come to the Supreme Court. SG Tushar Mehta says, absolutely, we have also found some statements which should be added to this petition. Leader of DMK party says that if you want equality, you should butcher all the Brahmins, unquote. Now here, Tushar Mehta was referring to an objectionable speech made by a DMK leader, saying that, look, fair enough, you want to go after Hindu groups making such statements, but do it in a manner that one community doesn't get singled out. Hate speeches by others against the Hindu community or by other minority groups against Hindu communities should also be then put there, and all states should be pulled up for not taking action as the case may be. SG Tushar Mehta then comes out and says, this is not a matter which should be laughed at. Justice Nagaratna says, what made him say that? Justice K.M. Joseph then says, do you know who is Periyar? Who is Periyar? And then, of course, viewers, you had Tushar Mehta saying, just because it's a hate speech, it cannot be pardoned because it is said by someone famous, unquote. The question of selectivity has come up in the past too, viewers. While there is a broad hint here in this particular exchange, this question of selectivity has come up in the past too. And at that time, with specific reference to the Nupur Sharma case, you might all recall that. At that time, the Supreme Court had implied that Nupur was solely to blame for the violent backlash from the Muslim community. And let us just remind you of what the oral observations were. And this is an excerpt of oral observations made by the Supreme Court in connection with the Nupur Sharma case. It said, and I quote, what is her business to make these remarks? The way she has ignited emotions across the country, this lady is single-handedly responsible for what is happening in the country. She should have gone to the TV and apologized to the nation. She was too late to withdraw. And two, she withdraws conditionally, saying if sentiments hurt, unquote. But as we know, viewers, it is wrong under any circumstances to suggest that only Hindus indulge in hate speech. Here are examples of when others spewed venom against Hindus. Let me just talk about a number of those incidents. A. Raja, DMK MP, you are Shudra and a prostitute's son till you remain a Hindu. This was said, viewers. But has anyone taken suo motu action to pull up the state government there for this, for allowing this particular hate speech? Not to my memory. This was said in September 2022. Nupur Sharma must be hanged. Hang her at this very square of Aurangabad. Imtiaz Jalil, AIMM MP, Member of Parliament, said this, viewers. It's a very famous speech he made, an ignominious one. Again, no action has been taken. Chop off tongue for remarks against Prophet. This was an incitement. Chop off their hands, gouge out their eyes. Maulana Mufti Nadeem, a cleric, said this, viewers. Asaduddin Owaisi, AIMM chief, said, why is Zubair arrested but not Nupur Sharma? Again, fanning discontent. Punish Nupur and anyone who else is inciting. Rashid Alvi of the Congress said this. So inviting, obviously, action against Nupur Sharma. Muslim sentiments hurt with Nupur's remarks. Nupur can't go unpunished for her comments. Majid Mehmet. Viewers, while these are some examples of hate directed against Nupur Sharma, there have been other examples of hate directed against Hindus. And we know that they have been directed not just by one particular minority, but by other minorities and even by individuals within Hindu society, Hindu Samaj. Viewers, it isn't Times Now's case. Now let's be very clear. It's not Times Now's case that hate speech shouldn't be condemned. All hate speech is bad. It is morally and legally unacceptable. Viewers, any Hindu, anyone else from any other denomination making hate speech should be immediately jailed and prosecuted under the law. But such prosecution must be equal across all denominations. The individuals of one denomination should not be singled out. Unfortunately, there is an apprehension growing among many Hindus that only hate emanating from one community is amplified by the ecosystem, so that the courts are misled into believing that the problem emanates only from the majority. Now, we will debate whether Hindus have been singled out and targeted with hate speech charge. As Solicitor General Tushar Mehta has said, we are not going to be questioning, viewers. And let's put the quotes up there. Sharif Bhai, let's put the quotes. Let's keep the quotes on so that the viewers understand the context in which we are having this debate. Viewers, it's very, very important that none of our panelists or anyone here should be seen to be criticizing the court. The court has to listen to petitioners. The court might very well tomorrow decide that the petitioner's case for contempt against Maharashtra is a weak one and therefore should not be entertained. That could very well happen. This is an ongoing matter, so we don't want to in any way influence the course of justice. Our quibble, viewers, the question that we are asking tonight are about the selective focus, as Tushar Mehta has mentioned in court, by an ecosystem on just one side, conveniently forgetting that hate speech is not one-way street, that others have also done so, and those issues are not amplified. Viewers, no one, for example, stands up for Hindus who were externed from Kashmir on the back of hate speech, which was very well documented, viewers, which led to violence. There has been no justice. And yet we are constantly told that only the Hindus are the transgressors. Even in the Delhi riot cases, viewers, of 2020 and 2019, a ecosystem out there worked to suggest that this was a pogrom against one community, or those that were arrested for making insightful remarks or indulging in violence were only arrested because of their religion, because they happen to be from the minority community. This is wrong, viewers, because it sends out a message to the world at large that we have become some sort of a brutish, majoritarian country. And that is not true. That is not true, viewers. So let's first go across to Harish, who is our editor, legal editor for Times Now, who has been part of these hearings, been listening to these hearings. Harish, Tushar Mehta's real angst is not against the bench. Let's be clear. He has got a problem against his petitioner, who has come out and only focused on one side of the story, saying that, look, at the end of the day, Hindu group should be pulled up, etc., conveniently forgetting that there are others who have also targeted Hindus. So that's really the issue, isn't it?
Yes, that's right, Rahul. Solicitor General Tushar Mehta had been repeatedly pleading with the bench of Justices K.M. Joseph and B.V. Nagaratna to persuade the petitioner, in this case Shaheen Abdullah, for whom Nizam Pasha was arguing, and urged them to, if indeed they were public-spirited citizens, they should bring before the court hate speeches across religion, and not just target the Hindus, not just call out the speeches made by Hindu leaders, allegedly made by Hindu leaders against Muslims. And if indeed they were public-spirited citizens, as they were claiming before the court, they should bring to the fore all the hate speeches across religion. Otherwise, the Solicitor General told the court that their bona fides are questionable and cannot be trusted.
Right.
In fact, remember, this particular bench has been passing periodic orders since past 3 months against several Dharam Sansads held in Uttarakhand, Delhi and Haridwar, Uttar Pradesh. But suddenly yesterday, Solicitor General Tushar Mehta took serious exception to some aspects of the proceeding, saying that, urging this Justice K.M. Joseph not to reduce this court into a magistrate court by taking cognizance of large number of petitions being filed by Nizam Pasha based on newspaper reports, and said that this court cannot be made a court of final instance, and in fact for the first instance, and therefore there has to be a procedure, and therefore urged the court to restrain Nizam Pasha from bringing to fore only the speeches made allegedly by the Hindu organizations, and said that. And today, in fact, very significantly, the solicitor also raised the issue of Sar Tanse Juda, alleged calls for beheading made by the Muslim leaders, and said that even Nizam Pasha should be raising these very same issues also.
It's important. Viewers, in any discourse, balance is very, very important. Thanks indeed, Harish. Let's see how this matter unfolds. But viewers, as I've told you, all this becomes grist for an ecosystem to suggest that India has become some sort of Hindu Rashtra where minorities of all stripes are treated as third-grade citizens, etc., etc. Well, that is not true, because there is a selective attempt, or an attempt to selectively portray the issue in a particular color. Now, this is done for whatever reasons. I can't impute motives, but let's just open this up and